Exciting week, and clearly a lot of excitement around the Big Ten Challenge with Duke coming to Bloomington. And then, right after that, quick turnaround to an automatic 2 Big Ten games in 3 days. So there's going to be a lot of excitement, I think, around the opportunities that we have. I think the games will really bring a heightened sense of awareness to our players. The environments that we're going to be in are what you want to be in when you're at this level. So, I think this time is a lot of excitement. When it comes to Duke, I think it's well versed right now of how talented they are. They're off to a great start at 8-0, and they're battle tested with a Michigan State win neutral, which was a hard-fought game, and then going out to the PK 80 and having some real adversity that you watch them deal with, and being able to find a way to win that. So they're really young as well. I mean, at times you could see 4 and 5 freshmen on the floor, but I think there's a reality of how good and how talented those freshmen are. But with Grayson Allen being sort of their leader, you're always going to have a guy there that you're going to be able to count on in big moments in the road venues that they're going into. So we're expecting, him to be really on his game as well. So we have our work cut out for us. We know that. We're trying to get ourselves mentally, physically prepared to play. And there's a lot that goes into this type of game, and we want to have a good practice coming off of yesterday and then coming into today, and being that it's as late as tomorrow night, have another good shoot around. So we're excited for the game.
Okay. Questions? If you'd make sure you use the microphone, go ahead, Jeff.
Coach, obviously there's a lot to talk about with Duke and their personnel. Let's start with the front court with Wendell and Marvin. The things they can do on both ends of the court, especially how they can pass. How many problems are there that those two guys present as opposed to maybe a guy who's just a back to the basket guy or something like that?
Well, it's a daunting task right now, just in general, when you look at how to keep them off the glass. They're the #1 offensive rebounding team in the country, and they're also scoring as many point paints, if not the most point paints of any team in the country. And both of them are very, very good players in and around the basket to score. They command a lot of attention. They're also just unbelievable rebounders. If you just watch the Michigan State game alone, I think they got 25 offensive rebounds, and Marvin Bagley didn't play but about 10 minutes in that game. So, Wendell Carter and the other guys, whether it be Bolden or whoever's in there, I mean, they present a serious challenge. But they command a lot of attention. They're good passers. Their reputation speaks for themselves, but it is a daunting task, and I think it starts with, 1, the glass and how we keep them off it, and 2, clearly trying our best to keep the paint crowded and make those guys, uncomfortable as possible.
With Duke coming off of 3 games in 4 days tournament, and you guys not having played since Friday, do you think there's any advantage at all in you having more rest than Duke?
I'm not sure. I can't speak to how Duke feels. They play a pretty short rotation. They always have, but they've played 8 games already. And I think, their ability to get back and get rested up playing at 9:30 on Wednesday won't be a real issue for them, especially I think the energy level in the building's going to, have everybody ready to go. For us, we needed some recovery time. We had played 2 games in 3 days already twice this season. So be able to get a couple days under our belt and look forward to, not only Wednesday, but then a quick Saturday and Monday turnaround. I think all of college basketball right now, just in general, mentally and physically, or have their challenges. So this is just one probably that Duke people can say, they may, they may be a little bit fatigued after their trip, but, potentially not affect them at all.
Mike.
Duke's shown some zone, throughout the first month so far. I mean, how does the last week or 2 weeks kind of help you guys just prepare for what you might see from them defensively?
Yeah, I think Duke has played a lot of zone here early in the season, and it's been effective for them at times. If you look at the size that they put on the floor in the zone, you're probably not going to be able to see a bigger team in college basketball when it comes to the back line that they've been able to put out there. The Michigan State game, they were very active in that zone and, caused some turnovers and whatnot. But, we've seen a lot of zone here early. So as much as any season I've been a part of, we've had to handle 40 minutes or last 70 minutes, including Seton Hall half the game in some zones. So we've seen a lot of zone, and we had our best performance against it, clearly against Eastern Michigan zone. We were very effective. And if we're playing them, it'll have to be the same way. You have to limit turnovers and you have to attack the paint. But, a lot of different size in the back line for them than probably we're accustomed to.
Coach talked about they played 8 games already, but also they played in a very tournament-type tested environment. The
Yeah.
Texas game alone was a great battle for them, and you guys haven't quite had that kind of experience yet. How does that help them and not help you guys as much?
Well, I mean, I think that they've probably played, you know, whether it be the Michigan State game or whether the Texas and the Florida game. I think both of those games were NCAA tournament-esque crowds, environments, and the fact that 2 of the games that they played in, they were down by double figures in the second half and came back and won, you know, speaks volumes about how they're able to handle those types of situations, especially when you consider they do have a lot of freshmen on the floor. For us, we've had one real, you know, adverse situation for us, which was on the road against Seton Hall, but we haven't been in this type of environment yet this season, and I think the veteran players need to, you know, show, so to speak, their experience level and don't make it bigger than it is.
A guy that could help against his own, Colin Hartman. I know he had limited minutes when he came back the other day. Where is he now in terms of how much time he can spend on the floor?
Well, he was a little bit limited on Saturday in minutes, and then just kind of wanted to see how he responded. Had a full workout yesterday. It was great. He's prepared to go full workout today. I'm going to knock on wood because every time we talk about him here in the press conference, it seems like he's you know, getting bit by the injury bug. But we'll be mindful of him. And I think as we get through this Wednesday, every game will be a game time decision, you know, how we handle him, you know, post the workouts or whatever. But it was good to have him back. I mean, he's an important piece to what we're doing. If he's around, we're a lot different.
Zach?
You talked some about their young guys, but Al is a guy you've mentioned just has helped you a lot through the first. I think he's 3rd on the team right now in minutes per game. And
Yeah.
a lot of talk about the turnovers and the fact that he's just not committing them right now. I don't think he's committed one in more than 2 weeks. What makes him so good, and what maybe as the competition level adjusts up, do you think are going to be the biggest challenges he's got to clear?
Well, Al's done a nice job. He's played the game within, you know himself. He's taken what the defense has given him. He has a high IQ, you know, just in terms of what we're trying to look for. And, you know, he's efficient with his dribble. He's not a guy that has to have the ball in his hands for long periods of time to make plays. He uses his shot. He plays in straight lines. Makes the simple play. And I think he's not #1 in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio. He's up there pretty high, I believe. So, you know, he's done it over the course of 6 games, and I trust him. Our players trust him, and I think, you know, as the season gets ratcheted up, as we'll see here in these next couple, you know, he's going to be, a guy that, you know, plays a big role for us. And he was good at Seton Hall, and I think coming into this game, he'll be ready to play. I don't think he's afraid of anything, which is a good thing. But he's smart, and he stays with it. He's very efficient. And, you know, the one thing about Al is he's playing the game within himself, and I think as experience gets under his belt, you'll start to see a guy who shoots the ball a lot better than he has here early in the season.
Just sorry, one quick follow-up. You say he's not really afraid of anything. Where do you think that comes from for him specifically?
I think all kids grow up, you know, in certain environments. I think, you know, one Al's from a basketball family. His father's a tough-minded guy who was on him. He's played at a high talent level growing up, just in terms of being in the Atlanta area in high school. And then if you mix in his AAU experiences, he's played against pretty much every guy in the country. Whether in particular, there's a couple guys that he's played against, you know, against Duke, you know, that grew up playing against him. So I think he's got an experience level. I think he's been taught the game, and you know, there's a lot of good coaches. I think his father, he's a great family, but I think his father knows the game very well. It's been hard on him growing up, and you know, he's a guy that's kind of a throwback. You love having a guy in practice like him. He doesn't say a whole lot. He's playing to win, and he's trying like crazy to do everything he can to help the team.
Obviously, given that front court that Duke has, how confident do you feel in your own front court depth, guys like Freddie and Justin, to be ready for that?
Well, it's going to be a challenge. I mean, you're dealing with elite size, not just from him, but even their subs when they come in. And we'll be undersized at times. I think Duran's probably the only guy that's going to look the part in terms of standing next to him. But we have to be smart. You have to be tenacious. You have to use your quickness. And you have to have a team approach. You can't just be one-on-one. But all hands are on deck, and there's no real reason to look at it and say that, you know, this guy can't do this or that. I mean, you know, you can watch a lot of teams playing college basketball with different sizes, and they get the job done. So, you know, we just have to be pretty good at what we're doing and keep working at it.
Joe?
This is just a little off topic, but you're talking about all hands on deck. Clifton Moore, kind of where's he at in his development, and how close would you say he is to maybe getting some minutes?
Well, Clifton's working towards exactly that, which is trying to find his niche and find his role. I think Clifton knows as we've started the season up and how we're going, he's got to continue to learn the game. The game of basketball from an IQ standpoint and learning the physicality of it and how important it is to be just on top of things defensively and angles and being able to rebound the ball. And then when you get to the offensive side of the ball, just being comfortable when you're in certain areas and catching. He's learning all that. And he's got a great attitude. He comes to work every day. He's got a bright future. And our hope is, like I told him, if he stays with things, you never know when your number's going to get called. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not Wednesday night, So he's got to keep with that attitude. He's got to keep working. And then when he gets his chance, capitalize on it. And then find more ways to impact our team.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.